Welcome, my name is Greg Barta. I'm a fire captain with the Orange County Fire Authority, and today we're here for our annual 4th of July Safety Press Conference. Now, obviously last year things were different. There were no fireworks shows, there were no family get-togethers, no social gatherings, no partyings going on. But fast forward a year, and now we're gonna have fireworks shows, social gatherings, partying going on, which is great. It's great news. However, there are some inherent dangers associated with this holiday that we're gonna highlight today. So we have 4 speakers, all experts in their field. They're gonna highlight the different dangers and what we can do to mitigate those. Immediately following that, we'll have a short Q&A session with each of them, and then we'll have a display by the Orange County Sheriff's Bomb Squad, which is gonna be really exciting and entertaining. So with that being said, I'd like to have our first speaker, our fire chief, Brian Fennessy. He has over 40 years of experience in the fire service, making him extremely qualified to talk to the dangers on this holiday. Chief, with that being said, if you'd like to come up.
Thank you, Captain Barta. As we all know, fireworks are an inherent part of celebrating the 4th of July. Unfortunately, for many, they turn into an emergency room visit. Over the past 5 years, Orange County averaged close to 32 firework-related injuries around the Independence Day holiday. And similar to previous years, the number of these injuries for adult patients was the highest again this past year. All types of fireworks are causing these injuries, from sparklers to illegal firecrackers, mortars, and Roman candles. These fireworks resulted in numerous injuries, including a 1-year-old who suffered an arm injury when a firework exploded, to a 9-year-old who had a sparkler fly into his eye, and a 19-year-old whose left hand was severely mangled by a firecracker. In addition to injuries, fireworks also result in property damage. In 2020, fireworks were the suspected cause of a 21-acre brush fire that took more than 100 firefighters to extinguish. Fireworks also started a brush fire in a condo complex in Mission Viejo and another one in Lake Forest. A home in Los Alamitos suffered approximately $15,000 in damage due to a firework being placed in a trash can that caught fire and extended to the house. And the list goes on. Fireworks are beautiful to look at, but dangerous. Safety tips are always worth repeating, especially if it protects one child, teenager, or adult from getting hurt. It also protects property. If you're going to light a safe and sane firework, do it in an open area, outside, away from homes and cars. If you light a firework and it doesn't go off, do not relight it. Adults should be the only ones handling fireworks. It's tempting to hand a young child a sparkler. They look innocent enough. However, they burn at 1,200 degrees, 3 times hotter than your oven. And most adults won't let their kids near a hot oven. To avoid the risk of fireworks and enjoy the 4th of July, we encourage everyone to go to a public display at one of the 18 locations throughout Orange County. There's a list of shows on our website at ocfa.org. Don't become a statistic. Leave the fireworks to professionals and have a safe 4th of July. Thank you.
Now our next speaker represents one of our biggest partners in providing public safety to the citizens and communities of Orange County. Head of the Orange County Sheriff's Department, Sheriff Don Barnes.
Thank you, Captain. Just like Chief Fennessy said and was shared by Captain Bartow, this year is different than last. We are celebrating 4th of July like we traditionally would. We'd ask that many of you be familiar with and heed the warnings of Chief Fennessy. We want you to enjoy a safe holiday with your loved ones, but that's also contingent upon several things that we want you to do. First and foremost, if you are going to practice the holiday with fireworks, use safe and sane fireworks. Make sure that your city allows them, because not every city in Orange County does. So use those in cities that do allow the use of safe and sane fireworks. Take advantage of the displays that are organized in the cities referenced by Chief Fennessy. Most importantly, dangerous fireworks like skyrockets and other mortars can cause significant damage to you or your loved ones. The fine for operating or lighting an illegal fireworks in Orange County is $1,000 if caught. And these could be very dangerous and can cause significant injury to the individual lighting it or to bystanders, including the risk of fire. The Hazardous Devices Squad of the Orange County Sheriff's Department this year reports throughout the year the calls about illegal fireworks and apprehends and collects those fireworks as well. In 2021, so far this year, they have collected over 11,000 pounds of illegal fireworks, more than all of 2020 combined. That is a significant number. And when you see the display here on my right, your left, several of them will call your attention. One you'll see later, they'll be demonstrated the risk to the public. It's a firework I have in my hand. This is a skyrocket. It is a explosive device intended to light off in the air. It is illegal in the state of California. 3 times in the last 12 months, individuals have removed that incendiary device off the top and lit it in their hand. This has a spontaneous fuse, meaning when you light it, it's going to explode. Several people had their hands blown apart, lost fingers, lost use of their hands, limbs, and had facial injuries. This device holds over 50 grams of explosive material. To put that into context, a sugar packet is 1 gram. If you poured 50 sugar packets out into a bowl, that would be the equivalent of this device that will blow off in your hand. Everybody needs to be aware of the risks. I want to also ask the public for one very important issue. If you are in a neighborhood and reporting the use of fireworks, just the use of fireworks that are legal, please call the non-emergency number in your jurisdiction. In the Orange County Sheriff's Department, that number was 714-647-7000 to report the activity. We will respond when resources are available, but resources in Orange County, like every other 4th of July, get stretched and tapped out. We need to keep the 911 numbers available for actual ongoing emergencies at risk of life or property and crimes that are in progress. We will respond, but we do not want to tie up the 911 system for those types of calls. Lastly, as shared by Captain Bartow, people are going to be out this year like they weren't out last year, and they will be celebrating. If you are going to party, drink, do not drive. Have a designated sober driver or use a rideshare service to get you safely back home for you and your loved ones. And I want to reiterate, if you are going to be the designated driver is not the person who drinks the least. The designated driver is a person who does not drink at all to help get you there safely. Thank you very much. Enjoy the holiday. Happy 4th of July to everybody. And please, please practice safe fireworks displays and safety. Thank you.
Our next speaker is a former Orange County Fire Authority Board of Directors member and current district attorney for the Orange County area, Todd Spitzer.
So good afternoon. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be here. And when you look at the community leaders that are speaking here today, we are a little bit the bearers of bad news because we're here to explain what the consequences can be when you do not use safe and sane and state-approved fireworks. And so I want to make it very clear. I think we all understand that everybody wants to get out into public and be out and about after the pandemic. There's all this, I think, pent-up energy, and it's exciting to see that we're back as a community and we're all gonna celebrate America's freedom and America's independence. But what I wanna make sure that everybody understands today is if you do not deploy or utilize safe and sane fireworks, that is a violation of state law. When you see these fireworks on this table, every single one of them does not bear the state fire marshal's tag. It's like a good housekeeping seal of approval. And if the firework does not have that emblazoned on its packaging, it is a violation of state law. Possession of having fireworks that are not safe and sane, no matter where you are in California, can be up to 1 year in prison and 1 year in county jail and a $1,000 fine. The irony about America's freedom is we're all out celebrating freedom. You don't want to be in jail during the 4th of July or in a hospital room because you lost a limb or you're asking skilled physicians to sew that back onto you. We want to celebrate this event. We don't want it to be a tragedy for certain families or individuals. The cities in which they are designated as safe and sane are the following in Orange County: Anaheim, Buena Park, Costa Mesa, Fullerton, Garden Grove, Huntington Beach, Santa Ana, Stanton, Villa Park, and Westminster. If you have any questions about whether it's lawful not to possess safe and sane, you can possess safe and sane no matter where you are, anywhere in California, as long as they're designated by the state fire marshal as safe and sane. You can only utilize them, in other words, light them, in the cities that I've given you today. And the unincorporated area of Orange County is not included in that list. So if you have any questions, you need to contact the County of Orange to clarify. Any of the fire stations in Orange County can clarify for you. So let me give you an example of what happens. We've had numerous fires off the toll road, which is miles from here, up on the 241 at the top of Windy Ridge. And yet those fires have come all the way down here and burned behind this fire authority many times. This is a wind tunnel. So when you deploy these dangerous devices, it can wipe out communities, and communities have been asked right around the fire authority year after year, fire season after fire season, to have to leave their homes, and people have lost their homes. Let me tell you what this list includes of what is illegal. Skyrockets, bottle rockets, Roman candles, aerial shells, sparklers that are more than 10 inches in length or more than 1/4 inch in diameter, firecrackers, and M80s. We know what M80s are. That's a quarter stick of dynamite. It's illegal, it's unlawful, and it cannot be deployed. Any firework that explodes in the air or moves on the ground in an uncontrollable manner, those are all illegal. So let me give you some real life examples of cases that we prosecute. Here is a car stop of an individual transporting these unlawful Excalibur boxes here. And what does that contain? It contains these huge mortars that are deployed through that tubing, that black tubing that's on the table. And they go off like a rocket. These are unlawful. And this particular individual is selling these illegally in our county of Orange. This car stop was in the city of Santa Ana. That is a serious penalty. That can be thousands and thousands in fines, and it can include state prison. This is another case of a confiscation in the city of Santa Ana. These are real examples of crimes going on in our county. More than 50,000 pounds of unlawful explosives were confiscated from an individual who had them in his possession. He is looking at up to 3 years in state prison and up to a $50,000 fine. The other law I want to talk about is what happens if you allow your children, minors, to utilize these explosives. You as a parent in California can be held liable as well. So don't think if you just send your children off to engage in this activity, it could be without consequence. So parents, you have to be alert and aware as if your child was swimming in a pool. You have to be just as aware about drowning as you are on 4th of July about the use of fireworks. And lastly, I want to talk about first responders. There are a lot of men and women who are going to be working over the holidays while everybody else is enjoying their weekend. And this event is this Sunday, so it's on a weekend on this Sunday. And while people are going to parades and, as the sheriff indicated, out having a good time, hopefully a safe time, those first responders, police, firefighters, and others get called if there's a fire or an allegation that somebody is using unlawful fireworks. If there is an injury to a first responder, a firefighter, or police officer as a result of the unlawful use of these fireworks, you can go to prison for 6 years. And if you seriously injure a firefighter or a police officer, it adds a 3-year enhancement, making your exposure to potentially 9 years in state prison. And I will offer for the record, if you do that in Los Angeles County, there's no enhancements. That means the maximum for injuring a firefighter or a police officer is 6 years. In Orange County, my office files enhancements, and we will utilize the fullest extent of the law if a firefighter or a police officer is injured in the line of duty as a result of responding to these calls. We're not trying to be the bearer of bad news. We all want you to enjoy the 4th, and we want you to enjoy the freedoms that our country and our Constitution gives all of us. But we must insist that you do it safely. And if you do not do it safely, there are serious consequences, and none of us want to see that happen here in the great county we call Orange County. Thank you very much.
Thank you, DA Spitzer. So we've heard a lot so far about these fireworks and the potential dangers they have, especially with injuries. And our next speaker is often the person at the end of that chain that's tasked with solving the problem, someone being injured, someone being burnt. So from the Orange County Burn Center, we have Dr. Andrea Dunkelman.
Thank you, everyone. Hopefully this is the only time you'll have to see me this holiday weekend. The Orange County Burn Center at Orange County Global Medical Center in Santa Ana encourages families and children to celebrate this 4th of July safely and responsibly. If you plan to celebrate with fireworks, please remember that the use of fireworks at home is risky and dangerous. According to the National Fire Association, fireworks start an average of 19,500 fires every year. Every 4th of July, approximately 9,300 people will suffer firework-related burn injuries. 40% of these injuries will be due to these illegal fireworks, and 45% of these injuries will be in children under the age of 14. A child's skin can burn 4 times more quickly and deeply than an adult's skin, and therefore, they can suffer more severe burns faster. It is important to keep children away from fireworks and have water available at all times. The most commonly burned areas are the face, hands, ears, and eyes. Severe injuries can not only occur from the actual fire, but also from flying particles from these fireworks. Families and children are encouraged to keep a safe distance from any fireworks. If you or someone you know suffers a minor burn injury, put the fire out, wash the area with room temperature water, do not apply ice or any other ointments, and take the patient to the nearest burn center. If the patient suffers a major burn injury, do not move the patient, do not apply water, and call 911 immediately to have the patient transported to the burn center. The Orange County Burn Center is staffed with skilled and experienced burn professionals that provide compassionate, comprehensive care that is vital for recovery for both adults and children. We at the Orange County Burn Center are here for you this 4th of July, and we wish you a safe and happy holiday weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dunkelman, and to all of our speakers. So now that concludes this portion of our press conference. We're gonna have a brief moment if anybody has any questions for any of our 4 speakers up here, and then we'll progress with the display portion. So if anyone has a question, now is the time to throw that hand up. Yes, sir. Sheriff Barnes.
So the question that was asked is, are we, the Sheriff's Department, going to have any special patrols out? The answer is yes. We'll be out in force. We'll be at an increased staffing in all of our sheriff's jurisdiction. We do patrol over a quarter of the county's 3.2 million residents through direct contracted services or unincorporated areas. We also have the harbors, which are very busy this time of year because of celebrations along the coastline, and John Wayne Airport, of course, which is very busy during the holiday season as well. Most importantly, though, we are the designated agency for response to any civil unrest or any enhanced level of services. So our deputies will be out in other areas of the county, such as Newport Beach and Huntington Beach, to help augment their staffing in the event they do have problems. We hope that's not the case. We hope people do celebrate responsibly, but they are there as a safeguard. And we have several platoons of deputy sheriffs that are part of our mobile field force that are responsible as a crowd control and emergency response measure if there's civil unrest. So we'll be at a high level of awareness. There is no known threat to the area that we're tracking through the Orange County Intelligence Assessment Center. So we hope that stays the same. There aren't any known threats, but we do know that this is the first time in many months when people are getting out of their house and wanting to celebrate. So we ask for everybody's cooperation to celebrate responsibly. Please be responsible. Don't drink and drive. Have a plan, and please do not do anything that would cause any harm to others. Thank you.
All right, folks, we got time for one more question before we get on with the display. Yes, sir. Fire Chief? Yep.
The question is, what is our wildfire preparedness for the 4th of July weekend? And the short answer is it's enhanced. We're bringing on more crews. We're going to be staffing our dozer and our hand crew extra hours. We already have, aircraft staffed 24/7. So you could expect that, just on a report of a fire, not even a confirmed fire, a report, we're going to be responding with everything we have. So as you've heard probably the last few weeks for most of these press conferences, we've never seen the live fuel moisture as low as it is right now. And it literally does not take much for the vegetation to take fire or to take off and the spread to quickly get beyond what we can manage. So we're hoping that we don't have any issues over the holiday weekend, but hope's not a great plan. We're ready. We're prepared. You bet.
All right, folks, that'll conclude this portion. We will have our speakers available for some one-on-one sessions as we quickly set up for the display. Thank you all for attending. Thank you to our speakers.